is it still very relevant as a process?
I'm somewhat philosophical when it comes to that question because I believe art is crucial. You know, you have ancient cultures which we would know almost nothing about had it not been for the artifacts, pardon me, that were left behind. To me, art is an expression of life, and it can also be an indication of what people were doing at certain periods of time throughout history. Perhaps more importantly, I think the artists, and when I say artists, I don't mean necessarily strictly visual artists, but artists in general, are able to touch on issues that may be considered very sensitive or even taboo, but art has always been a genre that allows people to actually lay bare some of the most sensitive issues. And how can people ever really begin to deal with some of the important issues rather than succumbing to denial or just failing to look at the issue when you can't really expect to come to any sort of resolution resolving problems if they're not faced. So I think art offers an opportunity to actually have people face to face with issues. And not that all art has to have necessarily any particular political or social implication, but it can too. And of course it can also be purely abstract. I mean, to me, if you are able to evoke some sort of response, whether it's emotional or intellectual, whatever level it might be, I think an artist is doing a good job if they can create that response within the viewer, and just as it pertains to the art areas as well.
As well said, I feel the same. As well as it's a spirit. I feel like I'm a dealer of sorts of art. You just want to inspire as many people to do it as possible. There are all these avenues, so we feel that it's relevant, and especially for an individual. Nowadays people are doing wonderful group things as well that involve things such as murals. To me, the mural is one of the most fantastic things taking place today. I ride through some desolate areas of West Oakland on a bicycle on Sunday morning. These industrial buildings, great murals, and this is just like a museum outside. So you see that people have been doing these things that are public works as well. So I see what you're saying. In fact, that's a good thought. I don't know if you have, people ask me, I don't know if I do either, a typical day of working in art where you say, today I'm going to work on something in the studio or in my space. Is there anything that's typical or usual that's part of that process that you can think of?
Well, it depends on what my setting is. If I'm at home, I will draw. I should also mention I do a lot of research. I do a lot of reading, and sometimes I'm actually inspired by things that I read. In the case of Frederick Douglass, he's always been one of my heroes, but I did more research on him, and the research really informs you in a more deeper way about who that person was, not only in terms of their public life, but in terms of their personal one as well. And so I find the reading is actually a nice complement to the actual studio work. So, yeah, yeah. But generally, I will mix my day with some reading and some drawing. And also, if I might paraphrase the late, I think it was Nikola Tesla, he said, and here again I'm paraphrasing, it's best to make your mistakes before you begin. And so conceptualizing and visualizing the process before you actually start has been something that's quite helpful for me too. I like to give a lot of thought to what I'm doing and how I'm going to approach it. And it does, in fact, save some time and it helps you avoid some otherwise costly mistakes, which I made plenty of those, believe me.
Sounds like almost every discipline, people in physics and chemistry, the same sort of thoughts, we do these things. accurately. There was that famous phrase of George Harrison from one of the songs, every mistake must surely be learning, and each thing just making a mistake is a learning process. And I know I've done that even last week with work of mine, where a meeting, something is, you do it usually, but if you make a mistake even after you've done it a few times, it's like, wow, just